He was America's greatest president, gunned down in a flash of vengeance that shocked the world. Welcome to On This Day in History. Today we're diving into the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth's deadly revenge, a famous actor, a secret plot, and a nation torn apart. This conspiracy was more twisted than you think. From hidden motives to a manhunt that ended in flames, you won't believe what we've uncovered. Buckle up. This is history at its darkest. On April 14, 1865, America was a nation scarred by the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, had just led the Union to victory, ending slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment. A 2019 study in the Journal of American History notes Lincoln's policies freed over 4 million enslaved people. But they also enraged Southern sympathizers. His vision of unity made him a hero to some and a target to others. Lincoln's call for reconciliation was revolutionary, but dangerous. A 2017 biography by Doris Kearns Goodwin reveals he received death threats daily, yet refused heavy security, believing his accessibility strengthened democracy. Little did he know, a plot was brewing in the heart of Washington, led by a man whose charm hid a killer's intent. Lincoln carried the weight of a fractured nation, dreaming of healing. His compassion made him beloved, but it also left him vulnerable, a heartbreaking irony that set the stage for tragedy. Enter John Wilkes Booth, a 26-year-old actor and Southern sympathizer whose fame rivaled modern movie stars. A 2018 American Historical Review study describes Booth as a charismatic heartthrob, but fiercely pro-Confederate. He saw Lincoln's abolition of slavery as a betrayal, blaming him for the South's defeat. Booth's plan, originally to kidnap Lincoln and ransom him for Confederate prisoners, but by April 1865 he turned to murder. Booth wasn't alone. A 2020 Civil War history article details his 8 co-conspirators, including a boarding house owner and a former Confederate soldier. Their plot targeted not just Lincoln but Vice President Andrew Johnson and Secretary of State William Seward. Booth's rage peaked after Lincoln's April 11th speech advocating black voting rights, which Booth called treason. Booth was a man torn between fame and fanaticism. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln attended Ford's Theater with his wife Mary Todd and 2 guests. Booth, a regular performer there, knew the theater's layout and the play's loudest laugh line. A 2017 Smithsonian magazine article reveals he bribed a guard to leave the presidential box unguarded. At 10:15 p.m., during a burst of laughter, Booth slipped in and fired a single .44 caliber bullet into Lincoln's head, shouting, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. The theater erupted in chaos. Booth stabbed Major Henry Rathbone, then jumped 12 feet to the stage, breaking his leg but escaping. A 2019 Journal of American Studies study notes the simultaneous attacks. Lewis Powell stabbed Seward, who survived, while George Atzerodt failed to attack Johnson. Lincoln was carried to the Peterson House across the street, where doctors fought to save him. As Lincoln lay dying, a nation held its breath. The man who ended slavery and saved the Union was slipping away, leaving a grieving wife and a country on the brink of despair. Booth's escape sparked the largest manhunt in United States history. A 2018 Civil War Times article details how he and accomplice David Herold fled to Maryland, hiding in swamps and barns. Booth's broken leg slowed them, and his diary later recovered revealed his delusion. He believed he'd be hailed as a hero. Meanwhile, 10,000 troops and detectives scoured the countryside, offering a $100,000 reward. On April 26, 1865, Union cavalry cornered Booth in a Virginia barn. A 2020 American Historical Review study describes the chaotic end. Herold surrendered, but Booth refused. Soldiers set the barn ablaze and a shot, possibly self-inflicted, struck Booth in the neck. He died hours later, whispering, "Useless, useless." Booth's dream of Confederate glory burned to ashes with him. Lincoln died at 7:22 a.m. on April 15, 1865, 9 hours after the shot. A 2017 Journal of American History study notes his death united a grieving North and galvanized Reconstruction efforts. His funeral train traveled 1,700 miles to Springfield, Illinois, with millions mourning. But the South faced harsher terms under Andrew Johnson, who lacked Lincoln's mercy. 4 conspirators, including Mary Surratt, were hanged in July 1865, the first woman executed by the United States government. A 2019 Smithsonian magazine article suggests Surratt's guilt remains debated, as she may have only provided shelter. The trials exposed Booth's wider network but also fueled paranoia about Confederate plots. Lincoln's death left a void, his vision of unity unfinished. Families across America, North and South, mourned a leader who saw. Lincoln's assassination didn't kill his dream. A 2020 American Historical Review study shows his policies laid the foundation for civil rights, inspiring leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. The Lincoln Memorial, dedicated in 1922, stands as a symbol of unity. Booth, meanwhile, became a pariah, his name synonymous with betrayal. Recent research, including a 2018 Civil War history study, suggests Booth's act delayed Reconstruction's progress, hardening divisions. Yet Lincoln's call for charity for all endures, a beacon through America's darkest moments. Lincoln's loss broke hearts, but his vision of equality and unity lives on. Booth's revenge failed to silence him, proving that hope can outlast even the deadliest plots. What shocked you most about this story? Booth's twisted plot, Lincoln's tragic end, or the nation's grief? Drop it in the comments. If this dark chapter gripped you, smash that like button, subscribe to On This Day in History, and hit the bell for more. Next, we're uncovering the secret plots of the Civil War. You won't believe what else was brewing. Thanks for joining us on this journey through a nation's tragedy. Until next time, keep exploring history's hidden truths.